Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of a Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us live on the road in Hamburg this morning at the Western New York Foster Closet. And we're here with our friend Cheryl this morning.
We've been learning so much, and Adam was here this morning. So if you watched the show, you heard a little bit about the Western New York Foster Closet, but we just got a tour. They're doing some really amazing things. So Cheryl is going to tell us a little bit about what the closet actually does. And then more importantly, we're going to tell how you guys can help.
I just want to kind of also set the stage here. Second Cup is a really cool way to connect with people in our community and around our community. And what I didn't know, having never been here before, is that this is an amazing resource for so many people.
Yeah.
And when you think about the work that Cheryl and her staff are doing here, you really truly value what you have.
Yeah. So, okay, everybody listen to Cheryl's message, and then we're going to talk about how we can all help. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
We loved our tour. So tell everybody what the Western New York Foster Closet does.
Sure. So we collect any new or very gently used clothing and footwear, along with so many other items: hygiene products, diapers, wipes, underwear, socks, blankets. I don't know. There's too many things to list. So we collect all of these items and we hand them out absolutely free to children who've been removed from their home through the court system and placed in foster care or with a family member or friend of the family.
So you were a foster mom yourself, and you saw firsthand what these kids needed. So how do kids come to the foster families, and why is it so important to have a place like this?
Sure. So there are many reasons children come into care. A doctor calls, a teacher calls, a neighbor calls, CPS shows up, assesses the situation, and deems it safe for the child to stay, or not safe, and the child traumatically has to leave their home. When they leave, it's typically quick. Grab a few things, grab a comfort item, whatever you can. They don't have suitcases and bags and things to put their belongings in. Usually, they almost always leave with their things in garbage bags.
And, that blows my mind.
It makes you want to cry.
Yeah,
it
because
really does.
when you consider the way people treat children, and then the effect that it has on that child, I mean, it's horrible to think about how they are in that kind of a situation, but then you kind of hope that things get better and that they're able to go back home. And as you're telling us, that's kind of the goal.
Right. It's always the goal for the child to return to their biological parents.
So we were saying kids, okay, so we're grabbing everything, right? We have to or grab something very quickly. So they might come to a house with a garbage bag, with a couple of things. So now you have foster parents who have a child who really doesn't have what they need. So what can kids and families come here to get?
Yep. So when the child shows up with nothing, it's your responsibility then to clothe them, which can be costly. So here they can come in, they can get a week's worth of clothing, 7 tops, 5 bottoms, 2 pairs of pajamas, 2 pairs of shoes, hygiene products. If they're in diapers, they can take diapers, pull-ups if they're in pull-ups, underwear if they're older and use the toilet, brand new socks. Underwear and socks always have to be new. And then we limit other items. We have car seats, we have cribs, we have toddler beds, strollers. Those are all large items, so we limit those to 2 per year. And then there's all kinds of baby gear that we have because babies need 100 things. As tiny as they are, they need 100 different things. So we have all kinds of different baby gear. And then we have items that really excite the kids. Right now we have our sport balls out so they can grab a ball to get them outside and be active in the summer. We had my daughter's school, Maryvale, did a big Squishmallow drive.
Oh, they love those.
And so when they come, they can take a Squishmallow. And the look on their faces when they get to pick the hottest toy.
Yeah, right.
And a comfort item is just unbelievable. We do a big new blanket drive in the early fall. Kohl's typically has big, super warm blankets on sale for $9.99. So for a teenager to have their own blanket, because if you have teenagers at home, they probably have 15 blankets in their bedroom, right? So for a teenager who just came into care to take a blanket that's their own is a big deal.
I wonder, Cheryl, you mentioned all these sales, like Kohl's has sales, backpacks, crayons, for instance, at the beginning of the school year. Is there a place to donate? And can people just bring in bags of stuff here? I know Diane is here and she's wondering that question. Is there some place to donate duffel bags
Would a
of
duffel
stuff?
bag be helpful here?
Yeah, duffel bags are helpful as long as they are still really good quality. We
Mhm.
love, love, love the IKEA bags.
Oh, the
because
blue bags,
they're
right?
flat,
Okay.
right? I have some behind the counter. I have
Uh-huh.
one here actually I pulled out before. I mean, this turns into duffel bag, and the kids, we pack it up, they take it home, they can fold it, they could stick it in the bottom of a drawer or a
Uh-huh.
bag. So if they have to leave the home they're in, they can pack a good quality bag.
Now, what
Right.
about donations that come in here? Because obviously, I mean, this is all volunteer. How do you get all of this stuff here?
So people bring in donations during our open hours.
Which are what?
Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday during the day, 11 to 1. It is changing in the summer. We're going to go down to 10 to 12. And Tuesday evenings, 5 to 7.
Okay.
So we're open typically 4 days a week.
And just so everyone knows, we're in the McKinley Mall here in
Mhm.
Hamburg. So this is right across from, I'm looking at Hot
Topic.
Topic. The Annie Ann's is to our right here.
I said, oh, they still have an Annie Ann's here.
Yeah, oh, they do. Trust me.
Reading my mind.
Yeah.
So people, okay, we're talking new and very gently used things. What are some of the things that you might be in need of right now that our cuppies can go, do I have this? Do my grandkids have this? What can I bring?
Definitely summer pajamas. We have very, very few summer pajamas. When we did switch over last week from winter to summer, we left out a lot of our winter pajamas so that we had pajamas to offer.
Okay. So
But we
summer
have
jammies.
very few pajamas in all sizes. We take preemie through 3X for teens.
Wow.
So we could use pajamas, summer pajamas in any and all sizes.
You know, I'm thinking of, like, people like Lauren, people like Diane,
Mhm.
people with grandkids who are getting
Mhm.
older. You know, they outgrow certain
Mhm.
things. And what a
Right.
great way to make sure that it gets recycled and
Yeah.
upcycled, as a matter of
Or
fact.
even if they can take through 3X, there might be some pajamas that you have that are
Right.
very gently used, or maybe
Right.
you got an extra set, and you just don't
Mhm.
wear them. You can bring them here and then a teenager could wear them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And we do try to keep donations seasonally.
Okay.
So right now we're only trying to collect summer clothing because we get in bags and bags and bags every week that volunteers have to sort through.
Right.
So it's just really difficult to sort through winter and summer because off-season clothes aren't kept in this store. They're in another location in the mall.
So I was thinking, because Katie and I were talking yesterday. I don't know if you were with us yesterday. We mentioned how we both have bags of
Mhm.
stuff just sitting in our houses right now. It's like that bag that you keep in your trunk that you want to
Yeah.
donate, right?
Yeah.
But our stuff is adults, for adults. But when you think about it, I mean, we're not big people,
Mm.
so I'm sure there's a teenager out there who
Right.
could fit into stuff that
Well,
we wear.
and I was thinking about sneakers too, because I have a lot of sneakers that I don't wear,
Just sitting.
exactly, that are just
Mhm.
sitting. So I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Cheryl's wondering, are you open year round? And she says, thank you for caring. And this is a great resource that's open and available for those foster families.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we are absolutely open all year round. We've actually been around for 5.5 years. The McKinley Mall is our third location. We were first housed in Town Line Lutheran Church in Alden. It was a great location. They were super supportive of us. The only issue was that we were in the basement.
Ah.
So we had to bring everything down about 12 steps and everything up.
Mhm.
Now you get a grandmother coming in to shop
Hard.
and she needs a stroller. We got to help her get the stroller up the steps. I mean, it was just a lot, but it was a great location. We then moved to the Eastern Hills Mall. We were part of their mall-wide eviction.
Mhm.
So thankfully, we found a home here at the McKinley Mall. But open all year. We do summer clothing now until around August 1st, and then we'll switch over to winter for back to school. Huge back to school drive
Mhm.
where anybody who signs up gets a brand new pair of sneakers, new backpack, and we try to fill their whole school supply list.
Okay, so I have a question for you because, like, you were a foster mom and you said you
Mhm.
had 15 foster kids over the years. What is the reaction to the kids when they get to come here? Because I know that they probably, a lot of them maybe haven't ever gone shopping or gotten to pick stuff out.
Yeah, no, and I could think of one situation. We had a little girl come in last summer. They had just come into care. It was her and her brother. They were maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, and they came into the store, and it was Christmas morning for her. Her eyes lit up. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It was the most exciting experience I think, of her lifetime walking into the Western New York Foster Closet. She was able to pick out her own clothes. She was able to try on shoes. She was able to get a stuffed animal. She was able to leave with a container of bubbles.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was
so-
just things we do, we take for granted every day.
Yeah.
And it was the most exciting thing. She asked the foster mom if she could call her mom to say hi. And she called her mom and she said, I'm shopping in a mall. Like, she could not believe that she had no idea that the things she was getting somebody else previously wore.
It doesn't matter.
It didn't matter to her. She
literally
was
have
in a
tears.
mall.
Oh my God,
she
no,
was
it just made me
shopping.
cry.
I mean, I will never forget this little girl and how exciting she was.
I
Excited.
I think of my nieces and my nephew, and I was just with them last night, and I was so happy to be with them.
I know.
And
It's
I just can't even imagine what that's like. And I'm sorry for getting emotional, but I'm
we both like when we
I
just
can't
love
even
kids
imagine.
so
Right.
much that it just really breaks your heart when you think about little kids who don't have these things, or that like this is something that's so exciting to them.
I don't get emotional either. So I'm really
Little
sorry.
kids.
I'm dying here.
Little kids
it's
do it.
Such a traumatic experience. It was probably the most traumatic, understandably, experience of her life, turned into such an exciting evening
I
for
just
her,
love
just
this.
by coming in and picking out clothes, getting some necessities.
I know. I think we all have tears in our eyes here thinking about this too. This is like, so Jeanette says, listen, this is so wonderful. She's sharing it with her students and teens who need new clothes. She's getting emotional. Shirley says, we all take too much for granted. This is Ed's mom. She says, this is beautiful. Thank you for doing something like this. Now, I really liked another comment here. Oh, Kim, because she was asking, do you take toys? And I do think that's something people want to, touch on.
We do. We only take new toys, though, because when we were accepting gently used toys, we were getting in shape sorters without shapes
Oh,
Jeez.
and toys that were broken. So we switched it to only new toys. So we collect toys for two reasons. One, we have our birthday room, which is super exciting.
Oh, it's so cute too.
So exciting.
It's like a little store with brand new toys.
Everything is brand new. All the toys are brand new. So
And it's the birthday room because why?
So we had all these toys left over from Christmas that were sitting. Why are they going to sit for a whole year, right? Let's celebrate birthdays that we are now
I love
finding out were never celebrated.
Right.
Kids, a lot of the things that we hear are things you don't believe are actually true. And it's in our community.
Right, and it's happening here.
Right
That's
here,
it.
in our community. In every community. In every community.
Well, so this is kind of the point here. And Kim is wondering this: is this place just for foster children? And I asked this question when we first came in here. What is the reality? What is the need? Because we did stories years ago talking about how there is a need for foster families. Is that still the case? And yes, this is just for foster children and foster families. But is that ever expanding? Like, what's the foster situation? What's the reality like right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's on fire. And a lot of times because of drug addiction, we sell absolutely nothing. We have no cash register. We sell nothing. Everything comes in donated and goes out absolutely free. We help foster children, kinship in 1017. So any child who's been removed from their home and placed in a different living situation. So it's in foster care, or they were placed with a family member or friend of the family member.
Okay.
They get specific paperwork when they take in the child. They bring in that paperwork along with photo ID so we can match up names on paperwork and names on the license to make sure we're helping the right group of people, and they shop for free. And we are seeing there's a big I don't want to say trend, but for lack of a better word, there's a big trend, and I know it's not the right word, but to send children with family in lieu of foster care right now. They're really trying to place children with family.
And by
so
that, we
they
might
still
mean
have that connection.
an aunt, an uncle, a
Aunt,
grandma.
uncle, grandmas, older siblings. And so those people are not as prepared as a foster family to take in children. So they don't have beds prepared. A lot of foster families keep totes and totes of extra clothes in their basement.
Because they've been through this process. They get it.
They know what to expect. Like, you sign up and you say, I would like a baby or up to 2 years old. So they will collect things for that certain age group. If your grandkids come into care and you weren't expecting something to happen in your family or not then, you have to clothe them.
So I guess just for clarification, Patty, and then we'll get to Peter. Peter also wondering, do you accept books?
We do.
Okay. Patty wondering, my daughter's a teacher in Lackawanna. Many kids have just 1 or 2 outfits. Can these families come here? It seems like this is Western New York wide. It's the Western New York Foster Closet. We're in the McKinley Mall right now in Hamburg, but you need to have that specific paperwork to come here.
Right. You do need the specific paperwork. There are other resources. There's Village Engaged right in Hamburg that helps the community. Grayson Community Church on Broadway in Alden helps the community. St. Luke's helps the community. They are not set up like we are. They're not as large scale as we are. They don't do everything that we do, but there are other resources out there to help kids.
This is limited to Erie County.
We do not have borders. No.
No borders.
It's Western New York,
there you
right?
go.
Yeah, we are called the Western New York Foster Closet, but if a child needs help that's in care, we'll help them.
Okay, so if you have that paperwork, it doesn't matter what county you're in,
Right.
they're able to help you out.
Okay, 2 things. Number one, I want to get to Maureen's comment here, because if you are interested in volunteering, I'm sure you're always looking for volunteers.
Absolutely. We are completely volunteer based. Nobody gets paid a dime to do what we do here. So myself, Brittany, Tara, Nicole, and April all volunteer to run shifts. And then during our open hours, we have volunteers in the back sorting through clothing, determining what we're going to keep versus what we're redonating, putting stuff in organized totes in the back, because we organize in the back by gender, size, season, hanging out here, hanging clothing out here.
My second question, sorry.
I was just, while we talk about that really quick, just because you were saying donating, talk about why we might not take some donations. Like you're saying, we have to pick what, like you get a big bag. What can the cuppies, that's what the people, what can the cuppies really be looking for, and what should they avoid bringing?
We don't want anything with stains on it. We don't want anything that has rips where they're not supposed to be. We'll take the trendy ripped jeans, but if
Gotta be
if
trendy.
it's right, but if your 5-year-old wore the jeans outside to play and the knees are all worn out, we're not going to keep it because we're not going to send children in care to school in those clothes. It's just not fair to them. So no rips, no rips, no holes, no stains. And we want it to have been purchased within the last few years so that it's still up to date.
It's got a little life to it. Yeah. Okay.
Cheryl, you fostered and you adopted, which is wonderful. But there are people here, Marguerite was just talking about this, that she could never be a foster parent because I wouldn't be able to give the children back. What is the reality, but also the reward in those kinds of situations as a foster parent?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to give them back, you've done good by the children. And it's heartbreaking. I was crying with both of you before we came on.
She was telling us the saddest story.
Children that have been in our care, and we literally have stood there and cried because they've left us. But you have to trust that they're going back to the best situation for them, or that they're going on to the best situation for them.
And now the community can come together and the community can help. And you guys have a really great fundraiser coming up. Money donations also really helpful. So how can the Cuppies contribute here to help you with your mission?
We could show people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. So we do a few different fundraisers a year. We have our Coop Car fundraiser at the Pink Cow in June again, and people take your everyday cars or the truck style cars and turn them into the most amazing and creative cars imaginable. Wester has jumped on board, and almost all of their stores remake a Coop Car for us. We do a gift card calendar in the fall. We're in the process of trying to set up another fundraiser because rent here is much more than it was at our other location, and we have to keep the lights on or the doors are not going to be open. We have a Venmo, we have a PayPal, people send in checks.
What's the Venmo? Maybe people can just donate right now.
Yeah.
What's the Venmo?
Venmo is, I'm trying to think because they're separate.
You can look it up really fast.
Venmo and PayPal. One is at Foster Love Closet because that was our original name. We had to go through a little name change. So at Foster Love Closet or at WNY Foster Closet.
Okay, I'm gonna find Venmo right now.
I'm trying to do it with my left hand.
What's like a good donation?
Oh, we're thankful for everything. Mall walkers stop and put $2 in here, and we're thankful for it. legislator Chris Green, whose district we were in, got us 3 different grants totaling $30,000 when we were in his
Wow.
district. And thanks to him, we were able to provide all new car seats, all new cribs, mattresses, toddler beds to ensure safety.
Is this you?
Yes, that's
Okay.
us.
Okay.
It's at WNY Foster Closet on Venmo. Yeah, I mean, so there are, I mean, people are paying. I'm just going through here the feed. It looks like you guys did Super Bowl squares.
We do Super Bowl squares. Yeah. I mean, we have to do things to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
There are different businesses that do like dress down days or different drives, for items that we need
It's under.
or monetary donations.
If you're searching and you're having a hard time on your Venmo, let me take you through the person who had a hard time right now. You want to click on businesses. That's going to pop right up.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was
Well,
on
they're set
people.
differently,
Yeah. And you want to click on businesses. It'll take you right there. That's smart because I was searching for
We
people.
have a link tree too. Like we could repost our link tree on our Facebook page, and that will, like, you click on that and that will take you to our website.
Thank you. This is Erin that we work with back watching at the station,
Thank you, Erin.
putting the Venmo up for you.
Joanne says this to you, Cheryl. I have to tell you that you are a fantastic woman. You do so much for so many, and you deserve all the recognition. I wish you could all meet her family. They're the best. Erie County is lucky to have you and the Flick family in the community.
How do we know Joanne?
Joanne was my older daughter's cheerleading coach for years. So we love Coach JoJo. Thank you. And people a lot of times give me the credit because they see me on everything. But I would never be able to do this without Brittany, Nicole, Tara, and April working shifts. Like,
Right.
I am 1 out of 5. And then the volunteers that are here every week sorting through clothing to make sure we have the best of the best and to keep us as organized as we are.
So
Like, I am
organized.
one of many people. So
God bless
I mean,
you
this
for
looks,
doing this.
it looks like you walk into a store,
Yeah.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and
I like what
I
Adam
understand.
said this morning. It's
Yeah.
like you walk into a Target.
Exactly. Joe Mary says you have an Amazon list,
we do have an Amazon wish list. Yes.
and so you can just go on Amazon, send something directly to you guys. That'd be easy too.
Yes. Yep. We don't ship to the mall though. It ships to a different address because we're not here every day.
So just be aware if you
Donations
go.
have been shipped back. So you can either ship to yourself and bring it in and check us out,
Oh, great idea.
or there is an address attached to our Amazon wish list and they ship.
And that's okay.
offsite.
That's okay to ship to.
Yes. Yes.
Shirley's just wondering quickly about the sizes once again.
We accept preemie through 3X for teens.
Okay. So 3XL, I mean, that could be a big man or a big woman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tall.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you're an adult and you're watching this and you're like, okay, I really can't do anything, you certainly can. Whether it's financially or through the goods that you might have laying around in your closet.
This sounds, I mean, and this is also just such a fun, if you want to do something like maybe fun with your family or fun, like I'm just thinking my
Yeah.
husband would do something so hilarious for this coupe car. We're talking about those little Fisher Price cars, the red and yellow cars. So what they do is remake them. Like there's one in front of us right now. Do you want to just turn the camera a little bit, John?
It
Like
looks like Mike Wazowski.
it's Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
And then there's a Marvel car next to
A
it. Those are
Marvel
just two.
car.
People lent us them. They won them last year. And
Look at
people
that,
lent us them so we could
I
mean,
That's
Sully,
great.
Sully that went with him had this huge, he was so furry, had this huge long tail. It was so great. We get cars that they'll turn this car into a remote control car.
Wow.
So into race cars, they will cut them and turn them into convertibles. I mean, the creativity that comes out of these cars is amazing. And it's $1 a ticket to try to win them.
Oh,
Okay,
wow,
so it's a raffle at the end of
It's
it.
like
Okay.
a basket style. It's $1 a ticket. You choose what cars you want to try to win. We do a live draw. We're there from 12 to 2 at the Pink Cow in Alden. And then we do a live draw on our Facebook page. And people win. They come back to pick them up. It's just an incredibly fun day.
Cheryl, before we wrap up, Melissa wondering, is the mall the only place to drop things off?
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, we get bombarded at home.
And that's fine.
We try
That's
to
fair.
keep it here during our open
Perfect.
hours.
Okay.
Melissa, we're also going to put information in Adam's web story, and Johnny, my boy Marrero, who's here with us, he will link us to it in the comments here. Adam, if you're watching, also can put the link to the story.
Yeah,
in the
and Adam,
comments.
maybe you could be really specific about donations and what people can and can't drop off, just so everybody's very clear.
And Cheryl, I said this before, you are doing the
God's
most amazing
work.
thing here.
Mhm.
And I cannot believe this is my first time here. And I'm glad that we're meeting under these circumstances. But thank you on behalf of everyone here watching on
so
Second
nice
Cup
to
for
meet
doing
you,
It
and
was
this.
so
yeah.
great to meet you guys. Thank you for sharing us, because if we can help one more family who needs to come in and chat, that's our goal.
We appreciate you.
We love having people like Cheryl in the community.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.